Hello YouTubers, and first of all I hope you had a lovely Christmas, or the best Christmas that you could possibly have under the circumstances that we're all have been faced with this past year, what with the lockdowns and what with COVID. First off, I want to start by saying I hope that you and your families are okay and staying safe, and secondly I hope that you managed to have some sort of decent Christmas wherever you are in the world. Thirdly, a very early Happy New Year to all my viewers and subscribers here on the channel. If you're watching this video for the first time, or the channel for the first time, my sincerest wishes to you and your families for 2021, and let's all hope that things get better next year and things will be brighter and things will be more hopeful, and certainly that the things will get easier for us, hopefully. We don't know that, but I just want to share a message of hope to everybody, because I think we all need to have that sort of hope, and what with the way things have been this year, it's not been very great, has it? But anyway, regardless, there's one thing that's one of the many few things that have continued to be somewhat normal, is our hobby, the good old model railways. So I want to share with you something that I got over the Christmas period, which I'm very grateful for, and I think it's pretty cool, and I hope that you can enjoy today. So, first and foremostly, go and get yourself a beverage of your choice. Sit back, relax, pause this if you need to go and do what you got to do, and come back, and then we'll get into the video. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you something I got for Christmas this year, and I got it from a well-known famous auction site. I told my wife that I had spied it many months ago, and I was quite interested in acquiring it for Christmas. And so without further ado, let's have a look at what I got for Christmas. So it's a Hornby loco, of course, and it's R055. It's the L.M.S class 4P loco 264 tank, which is the Fowler tank engine. And as you can see, the box is a little bit tatty, obviously. It's missing the insert on the front there, the display picture that tells you what's inside, but I'm not too bothered. The box is sort of reasonably decent. It's going to keep it protected as best as. So let's get it out and show you exactly what is inside, more importantly. Look at that. Isn't she gorgeous? 2300 London Midlands Scottish region Fowler tank engine. And one of the reasons why I wanted this particular loco was because I've got one of these in black, which I'm going to show you in a minute for comparison. But why I wanted to show you this particular model is a bit of a giveaway in the style of boxing. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a Hornby loco, which you all know that, but more importantly it's a Margate made model, and this is like owning a piece of history. It's something that is very historical. Back in the day when Hornby manufactured and put out all its models, rolling stock, locos, everything, from its factory base operations in Margate in Kent. Nowadays it's all done overseas via China, and basically the Margate site is used as a business centre for all its financial and marketing and corporate stuff. But nothing is no longer made in good old Margate, which is very, very sad for many people, and certainly for us as the modelling community. Nothing wrong with the Chinese stuff, it's actually very, very good. I mean, one of my locos I want to get this year, or next year should I say, in 2021, my goal is to own the latest Hornby Britannia class Oliver Cromwell. If you've not seen that, it's an absolutely stunning loco. I've already got William Shakespeare Britannia class, but Oliver Cromwell is that's the creme de la creme. That's what I want to own next year. That's my top model to get next year. But this in the meantime is absolutely lovely. I'm going to take her out of the box and we can have a little look at her. So put her on the counter space there. and I'm going to bring this down to eye level shot so we can have a little closer look. So going down, ground floor. Yeah, that about do it, won't it? Oh, I think that'll do it. Right. So look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? That is an absolutely lovely model. And what I like about this is the paintwork on it is just in very pristine condition. All the decals are on there, pretty decent. Look at the other side. It's a little bit slightly worn, not that much noticeable though, I don't think. But overall, she's lovely. And the way you can tell the Margate made stuff is that the com rods and the crank pins, if I zoom in with the camera, they're always screws. These bits here are always screws, compared to the hex bolts that are on the later models these days. But as you can see, look at the com rods, look at the wheels, they're in absolutely immaculate condition, beautifully cleaned. Okay, I must confess, they were in this condition when I opened them up, not quite, but I did go over them very lightly with a cotton bud and some lighter fluid just to clean off a couple of bits of gunk on there. But other than that, I didn't have to hardly do anything to it. I didn't even clean the wheels since I've had it over Christmas. It's really good, and if I flip it over, you see what I mean. I'll zoom out slightly. But there, look at that. The camera doesn't lie. That's in really good condition, and it's got the old plate on the bottom, the Margate design plate with the old beefy cog, which engages with the X04 motor. And if you read on the bottom there, if I turn it the right way around on the camera, hopefully we can see it that way. There we go. Hornby, made in Great Britain. There we go, folks. That's why I love this model. It's a piece of history. And she's really lovely. Again, after these clips that you're watching now, I'm going to do a little short running video of her on the layout. She is a little bit noisy due to the fact that she's got an X04 motor inside, which is basically a, excuse me, a large version of the motors that were sort of yesterday inside of the model railway locomotives back in the day. They're quite beefy, and they're also open as opposed to closed motors you get these days, which are more modern, manufactured in China. They're all encased, and once the motors do burn out after a period of time, you just basically change the motor or get replacement. But they are longer lasting, whereas the X04s parts tended to wear over a period of time, like the brushes. But the good thing is you can still get the replacement parts for the X04 motors on eBay, like Peter Spares, and obviously. But on the whole, she's a lovely runner, and you will see that after I've done this little overview. So looking at the loco in general, there's nothing missing off this loco. She's got the tension lock couplings, standard from Hornby, that's on there. Buffers are intact. Normally when you buy these things, sometimes there's like the couplings missing on the front, or the buffers missing there. But if we just bring it in slightly, look at the front detail there. Everything is intact. Paint finish on there is very, very good, still in good condition. There's a little bit of detail in the cab, you can't really see it too much, obviously. The coal load on there is pretty good. Handrails are still picked out in the silver colour. And on the rear there, space for lamps to go on there. There's also the space for a vacuum pipe, which I'm going to fit on the front and the back later on at some point. I've got some spares upstairs somewhere, I think. But on the whole, I do like this locomotive, and I'll tell you why I like it, because it reminds me of the old K-Class locos that the Metropolitan Railway had back in the day, when like the Cheshire branch and up towards Rickmansworth and the Metroland sections of the Metropolitan line back in the day, before they were electrified, they had these big beefy locos, the K-class locos, and they look very similar to these. And I think the maroon London Midland Scottish region colour livery on these things always remind me of the Metropolitan maroon on the Underground. So that's why I like it. It's a nice tank engine. It's a nice addition to my layout. Anyway, I'm going to just leave that there for a minute, and I'm going to get out the comparison loco. If I just bring this out a shot as best I can. Look, no. If I just go up 2 floors in the old lift, as it were. Right. Let's just move that to this here one side, actually, it's easy for me. Right, this is the BR Black version, and this is the China made version, which is more up to date, or one of the latest ones. It's about, I suppose, I've had this all 8, 9, I think maybe about, yeah, 11 years actually I've had this one, because I remember buying it from a model shop near me that's no longer there anymore. But this was one of the last things I bought out of there, and this is the China made version. And one of the things you'll notice of comparison, you notice the size of the boxes. Now if you look at this, notice how over time the boxes have got bigger from Hornby. If you look at it there, end to end, and the locos are still the same in lengthwise, but they've just increased all this box space for no reason, when you don't really need a box that big. But there we go. Anyway, let me get this out of the packaging just to show you. Go on the side. Right, so this is the, again, Hornby version. This is the China made model, as opposed to the one that you just saw. And this one's got a bit more super detail in it. I've done a video on this one ages and ages ago on my channel, but I thought I'd just give you a comparison, an overview of the two models together. So this one, as again mentioned, is the Chinese made one from Hornby. It's got a little bit more, if not more, super detail on this compared to the Margate made one, in the pipework, and also the cab vent on top there closes and opens. There's a little bit of relief detail on the cab there as well, but I'm not going to go over that too much. What I want to do is just zoom out, if I may, and put the two together so you can see if we do things in a display sense. You can see what I'm talking about. Right, hopefully I'll get this right so you can see. This is the first time I've actually put these two together, in terms of looking at them both, so should be pretty good. There we go. So you can, hang on, let's bring that forward a bit. There we are. Now if you look at those two there, they are virtually identical. The tooling's the same pretty much. And the only difference is that this bottom one, as I said, it's got more super detail. It's got sprung buffers where these are just static. It's got an M pocket coupling on the front there, compared to the top one just got the old standard D coupling, which is like basically going back to the days of silver seal stuff and beyond. But if I take this camera off the tripod momentarily, we can have a little look at these a bit more closer up. So as you can see. There's not much difference to them, apart from a few minor alterations, but the basic moulding is there. So there we go. And it's nice now that I've got the two variants in two different liveries. I'm quite pleased with that. And what we were talking about earlier on, I was saying to you guys that about the use of the screws in the con rods there. And if you look at the later China made model, you've got these hex bolts in there which are great, but if you try and undo these with the correct expo tool, which I've got, it's a special screwdriver that's got a hollowed out end, which is designed to fit over these hex bolt heads, and you just gently give them a crack and they unscrew. But when you put them back, it's very dangerous, because what I've learned in trial and error is that when you screw them up, you knit them up very gently. Any over pressure will cause them to shear off, and the thread will remain inside the bit there, and basically you just you're buggered. So I'm always very cautious when I'm doing these things. What I do with my locos in general, just a little quick tip, nothing to do with the video, a little bit random information, but it might be helpful to you out there, is that obviously these are miniature pieces of engineering. They are miniature scaled down versions of the real thing, and they work in exactly the same way mechanically. So like a real full-size steam loco, part of the checks you do is you go around and you make sure everything's tight, and you check everything and make sure that nothing's loose on there. So what I do before I run any of my locos, whether it's a tender engine, one of these, or a small little shunting engine like a little pug, I always check these bolts with my finger or a little screwdriver and just check that they're not loose, and just go around each one making sure these are tight and they haven't moved. And obviously I do that on all of those, and if obviously they're a little bit loose or they've moved a bit, you just nip it up gently. But these shouldn't come adrift, because they're designed to lock in place. But it's always a good idea to go around your loco visually and check nothing's hanging off or is loose or work loose or it's damaged. Do that all the way around your loco, and obviously lubrication as well, and check your wheels are clean at all times. Other than that, these are two very fine locos, and like I said, this top one I was very pleased to get for Christmas this year. If you look at them from the top, again, there's not much difference to them. For example, this bit of pipe work here has been picked out in a copper colour, and then on the Margate made one it's just in plain black, which is nice. But again, it's got the same detail on the tank there, and these little ventilation ports there for the condensation to escape, and it's all there. So yeah, quite a nice addition to the current loco fleet, along with its brother there, or its sister, whatever you want to refer to it as. People always, I don't know, even to me up to a point, I always used to refer to steam engines in real life and as model form. I always used to think they were she's, they were women. But I think, like the old Thomas the Tank Engine series by the Reverend W. Audrey, they're always boys, aren't they? Well, that's that for a different discussion matter. But anyway, I'm going to stop this now, and I'm going to do a little running video of the L.M.S one in action. And before I close, I want to wish you once again a very safe, a very peaceful and very happy 2021. And let's make 2021 an even better year in our hobby. So to you and your families, have a great new year. Stay safe, and I will return in 2021 hopefully with some more videos. and keep the thumbs up and subscriptions coming. Really appreciate that, and stay safe and God bless to you all. Take care now. Bye bye.